I just wanted to have a quick look at a gold chart. Bring up, I still use the 4 hourly with the Ichimoku. Now, during last week, this was the opening candle. We came back up. We managed to go into a, a bull trending sort of mode. It came down, tested the 50% support in this area and bounced back up. It was able to come up and take on the highs, wasn't able to create a new high. It was in this range that I actually got bullish on it, and I was looking for 1656 as a target. Something changed and it came down, it tested support, it held that 50% line for a little while. It's also with this lag line, which is 26 candles back. You can see how it came back, rested on these candles. It wasn't able to hold this support area. It came down and tested the bottom of the cloud area, which is a 52 period line, and bounced right back up. Wasn't able to break back past this area represented by the red line, and as you can see, price fell away. It's brought the faster moving average out with it, and the red line's not too far off coming in. It's based off 26, so as you can see, half a dozen 4 hourly candles, that red line will start dropping out, and we go into a bear trending mode. It's already had the bear breakout. So the pink lines here represent my dailies. We come into a daily chart and we can see up in this area was where I was bullish. I had the candles above the cloud. I had the pink line coming up here as to offer some support, and the lag line, it had some room above, and this is where my 1656 came from. It's a midpoint of this area. We're on a daily chart, so it really, the green line's from the weekly, but it still represents the mid of this area here, the lag line, which does respect the cloud. I was expecting it to come up and test in this area here. It had some room to be able to do it. It failed. It came down. It wasn't able to hold this support area, and that's where it's now down in amongst these candles here. It hasn't technically fallen below the candles. It's just sitting in here, and I guess that offers sort of that 15, where we are anyway. It's been down in this area, and candles are now below the cloud with pink. The faster one coming back through the red is going to be a bull signal, sorry, a bear signal. And the danger is that if we come up here, we come up and test some resistance around that 1583 mark. I've used this line here, even though this red line's gone flat here, it's dropped off this low here, and I wanted to see the 50% of here through to the high, which is where I've placed the pink line on this red flat line. Now we'll come up into the weekly chart. We see that candles are just hanging below the cloud. They haven't been able to break in. That was also part of where I was bullish. I looked at it, the price had managed to get back into the cloud and would come up in here, and that's where I was looking to test in around this area. I went for the 1656 because it had, that's exactly where that point is in here, which is using this low and this high as the 50% area. It didn't happen, so can't worry about it. It's dropped back through here, so we're now into a bearish mode and looking at this also as, well, that's that 1583, and this is actually showing that there's a little bit higher in here, so we can come up and probably even knock on the door of 1615 and still be in this bearish mode. As far as future targets, we've got the lag line below the candles, and it's actually not been able to hang on to this wick. So I look at it that we can come down and test this double bottom, but it also actually opens up this area in here, which is about 1480, 1490 as some sort of support. If that doesn't hold, well, then that brings you back down into I don't know, the mid 1300s. We actually do have an area there, and I'll just put on the crosshairs to pick it up. If price fell away very quickly, this is a weekly chart, so it's got about 3 weeks. So 1365, I would be looking for some support in here. We've also got an old flat red line in here, 1440 roughly. But we do need to be careful. We have moved into a bear setup, and it's on the weekly chart. We've got the daily running into a bear potential. However, on the monthly chart, we do have, this is bull trending. We've come down and we've tested the 26 area. With this being a prolonged uptrend with no real distinct lows, there's been no real flat lines in here for me to really pick on. But we are currently still above where we've been in the last sorry, we're on a monthly chart, so 26 months. So we're looking at 2 years, 50% of the last 2 years, we're still sitting above it, but we are below the last 9 months. And again, that's that 1656. You could stretch that up a little bit as being the midpoint of this area. So I still have bull on the monthly, bear potential on the weekly, and we certainly have some bear potential on the daily. We've still got just this little flat line in here. It's the midpoint of this range to this one, and I'm just using that as a guide of support. It's certainly not a pinpoint accuracy. It's just a guide to the mid-range of this. If we fall below that, then we certainly know that the weakness coming back into the 4-hourly chart, which I use as my trading chart. Well, that's obviously the first point of resistance, and as I say, I believe that this will come down and come down into this area, and 1583 is roughly where I would like to try and get an entry into short. Thank you. I hope it was of interest.